Good morning everyone, welcome to Achieve Lifestyle live streaming of classes. My name's Amanda. We are doing Pilates this morning, so a 30-minute all levels class. I'm hoping that you're all feeling fit and well today, and I'm assuming you have no injuries, but if you do have any niggles, anything where you're feeling a bit tight, just remember to be mindful of your body as you work through the movements. I will offer you lots of different progressions, so I'll always start at a beginner foundation level, and then I shall move through those progressions. Please just be mindful of your bodies. Remember, I'm not in the room with you. It's a live streaming class, so I can't actually see you. So just really be mindful of that, and remember to listen to your body as you go through each movement and make sure you're in control. Now today I've actually, if you can see, got a nice big bath towel with me. So if you want to go and grab a bath towel too, and a little towel maybe to support your head, then we can work with those tools, or you can just have a mat. All right, let's begin and let's find our Pilates setup. So I'm going to step onto my little towel just to challenge my balance a little bit more today. All right, so I'm going to think about the Pilates setup, think about our Pilates bodies. And we're thinking of, first of all, the first diaphragm in the body. So the first diaphragm in the body is the arch of the foot, and we talk about 4 diaphragms. So think about that soft arch of the foot and try and get an even balance through your feet. All right, so try and think about centering your body. Now, just place your hands on your thighs and give them a little wobble for me. They should be relaxed. If they're relaxed, we know that our knees are soft and we're not locking our knees out straight. Then come to the hips, pelvis and spine, and let's find our neutral spine. So if it helps, just gently rock your pelvis forwards and backwards, okay, to find the neutral curve that runs through the back. Lovely, let's take the tailbone slightly under, level the hips out in front and align the hips with the bottom rib. Think about the ribs being centered over your pelvis. Now, when we talk about the diaphragms in the body, the second diaphragm is your pelvic floor. So once you've aligned your pelvis, I want you to engage your pelvic floor by drawing together your pubic bone and your tailbone and your 2 sit bones. From those 4 points, we draw together, and then it's a mild engagement upwards. Now, we're going to continue that journey upwards, lifting up through the crown of the head. So let's really elongate the spine, and let's find the natural curve that runs through the back, your neutral spine. Good, so now, thinking about the pelvic floor engaged, when we come up to our rib area, this is our actual diaphragm, so that's the 3rd diaphragm in the body. Let's place the hands on the ribs, take a breath in, and a breath out. Breath in, and a breath out. Good, so as you're breathing for me, I want you to think about stretching your rib cage out to the side. Allow the rib cage to drop, okay, with the breath out. So we use lateral thoracic breath, which is the breath we use in Pilates so that we can keep an active center. So breath in, and breath out. Lovely, one more time. And then we're going to lift through the soft palate of the mouth. So think about the soft palate of the mouth as your 4th diaphragm in the body. With those 4 diaphragms aligned, we know we're standing with a good posture. So just allow your shoulders to slide down your back, take your shoulders away from your ears, and then we are ready to begin. So let's start off with some gentle shoulder rolls. We're going to start by mobilizing the body. We're going to prepare ourselves both mentally and physically for the class ahead. Lovely, let's make that a little bit bigger, into the elbows. So I want you to think about symmetry as you're drawing those circles. Try and restore the body's natural balance as you work through each movement. And then a little bit bigger still, both arms circling around. Lovely, imagine a marker pen in each hand, and you're drawing the same size circles. All right, we're going to reach forward, and then we're going to draw back. So let's reach forwards and draw back. Now what you'll notice when you do this little demi-squat is your feet working a little bit harder as you're balancing on your towel. If you find it too hard on your towel, just work on the floor. Okay, have the feet on that stable piece of flooring. Lovely, pushing forward and drawing back. So we forward flex the spine. When you come back this time, float the arms up into the air and back down again. Good, forward flex. Come back and then lift. Now when you're lifting those arms into the air, think about keeping your ribs attached. Okay, your ribs attached to your abdominal, so there we know that we maintain that neutral alignment through the spine. Good, let's finish on this one and bring the hands into prayer position. And now rotate towards your right side, come through centre, and rotate towards your left side. So I want you to keep your hips facing the front as you're turning. So you're trying to mobilise here, the mid to upper back. So think about the thoracic spine. Lovely, all the time we're lengthening through the soft palate of the mouth. So think of that fourth diaphragm and lifting up through the crown of the head. Lovely, finish up on your left side. Come back to centre and now lift with your right arm. Stretch over to the side. Come back to centre, stay with that right side and let's go again. Have you still got those relaxed thighs so that your knees are soft? Remember, engage with your pelvic floor so you're supporting the movement. You're always in control. Lovely, we're going to do one more and this time we're going to hold it over. I just want you to allow the other arm to relax down, allow gravity to draw you down. If you need a bit more support, place the hand on your thigh. Look down towards your fingertips and back up to the ceiling. Down to the fingertips, back up, and then release, and let's change. So breath in, lift, breath out and stretch. So let's see how much space we can find in the body without forcing the movement. So listen to your body, see where you can take it. Lovely, breath in and breath out, stretch. All right, let's hold this one over and just allow the arm to pull you down on the other side. If you feel you need a bit more support, hand on the thigh. Good, look down towards the hand. Back up to the ceiling. Down to the hand. And back. And then come back to centre. Good, well done. Now, think about keeping your hips level. You're going to see if you can lift your right knee. If you feel too challenged standing on your towel, then come onto the floor. Good, let's try the same without shifting the weight. So I want you to imagine your ribs now as a church bell. And you want to keep the church bell hanging in the centre. All right, you're not allowed to ring your bell to the side. Good, let's alternate those knee lifts. So one right, and then one left. So how centred can we stay? Try not to transfer that weight from side to side. Lovely, well done. All right, I want you to step onto the floor and let's just take it into a little demi squat. So when we squat this time, we're reaching the arms forward. What we want to think about though is posture. So don't allow your posture to change. Nice and long with your spine, so you've got a nice long line, fingertips to your hip bone. Be mindful of your feet, your ankles. So every joint is neutral. Good, if you struggle lifting your hands, keep them by your side. Remember, it's about doing what feels right for you. Lovely, one more time, and then we're going to lift up onto the toes. So let's challenge our balance. And slowly down onto our heels. Breath in and lift. Breath out and down. Good, floating the arms up into the air. And back down. So I want you to imagine, okay, a butterfly landing on a flower. Think of that as your heels returning to the floor. You're in control. Good, breath in, breath out and down. Good, let's come back to the knee lifts now that we're on the floor. Lifting with the right knee, and lifting with the left knee. If you can manage, you're going to lift, and now see if you can lift onto your toe. It will tell you how centered your body is. If you've got any difficulty with the feet in terms of mobility or your ankles, then just stay with the previous level. So we're really bringing the mind and the body together and our focus into class. Lovely. Let's try one more time on each side. Hopefully we're starting to feel a little bit more prepared, both mentally and physically. Lovely. Let's step onto the back of our mats. So we're going to do some roll downs with the spine. So feet under the hip sockets, pelvis and spine neutral. Let's engage belt muscle this time. So just gently draw the navel in towards the spine and imagine you're tightening notches on a belt. Take a breath in. With the breath out, chin to chest, the spine unfolds. So vertebrae by vertebrae, we come down to the floor. Breath in at the bottom, breath out, slowly roll back up. Vertebrae by vertebrae, until we slide the shoulders down and we lift through the crown of the head. We're ready to go again. So chin to chest, the spine unfolds. Now if you're really tight in your legs, just soften your knees for me, so you can keep the focus in the back. Good, draw your shoulders down, your navel in, and see how tall you can grow each time. Really think about your posture for me. Alright, we're going to do one more roll down. This time we're going to transition onto our mat. So I'm just going to move my towel out of the way so you can see me and shuffle my mat a little bit more forwards. So let's come onto the mat and let's do the prone leg pull. Now when we do the prone leg pull, we have different levels. Remember I said I'd start at a foundation level. So I want you to lie on your tummy, on your hips, but place your elbows underneath your shoulders. Your hands are flat down and your feet are relaxing behind you in parallel. Now let's set the shoulder girdle first. So take your shoulders down away from your ears and fill that space. Now engage your pelvic floor and peel your hips and thighs off of the mat. You're now in prone position. You can stay here, static position, 5 to 10 breaths, or challenge it further by lifting your leg off. But don't lift the leg too high. Okay, you want to make sure your pelvis and your spine is really still. For those that have done the full leg prone, up on your hands and feet, okay, engage. Again, either static or you can float the foot off of the mat. Again, if you feel any movement and you start to struggle, come back to the previous level. It's always very important not to compromise the quality of your movement. Good, try a couple more for me. And then we'll sit back onto the heels into child's pose. So let's just push back. Nice easy breath. Alright, let's come down onto our tummy. So if you've got a smaller towel or even a sofa cushion, you can just roll it, pop it underneath your forehead, and that will help set up your head, neck and spine. Open your hands to the side, relax your feet again in that parallel setup. Now, let's gauge the belt muscle. So draw your navel away from the mat. Take a breath in, gentle press against the hands, and lift to the bottom rib. As you breathe out, slowly lower back down towards the floor. So breath in, small push. Breath out, and lower down. So we can stay here, foundation level, nice and small. Alternatively, if your back says it's okay to do so, you can extend all the way up through your spine. Imagine you have water flowing down the back of your neck. And you don't want to break that flow of water, so try not to lift the head up and forwards. Okay, otherwise we'll crush here the vertebrae. So we want to keep that neutral curve. Breath in, lift, and breath out and down. Now as we start to come down with the torso, if we're able to, we're going to float the feet away behind us. So we start to get a gentle rocking action, top end, and then tail end. Top end and tail end. For those that are further along their Pilates journey, you have the option to make it dynamic. So you can reach forward with those hands as your feet extend behind you. Again, please only move to this level if you're in control of the previous level. Lovely, let's try one more, and then we're going to turn onto our side. Now I'm going to give you some options. If you want to work with your towel, you're going to place your towel underneath your rib cage. Now, if you don't want to work with the towel, you can just work on your mat. So, the towel will sit underneath my rib cage. I'm then going to lengthen the bottom arm forward, and I've still got my small towel to tuck in between my head and shoulder. Both knees are bent and forwards. Gentle squeeze of the knees, engage your centre, and now your free arm is going to lift. You're going to take it behind you, but what I'd like you to do today is keep your head facing the front. All right, so normally we follow our hand with our eyes, but today I'm going to get you to keep your body forwards. So breath in and breath out. Breath in. So as you do this, really feel the space opening out in the front of your body. Try and keep your hips stacked, okay? So think about those hips staying stacked. Lovely, let's draw a circle with that arm. So take it up and over the head, all the way round behind you, and then lift up and over the head again. And circle. So we now start to mobilise the shoulder. We're finding even more space, and we're still keeping our body forwards. Lovely, one more time here. We're then going to prop ourselves up onto our elbow. And we're going to take it into the side kick. Now, again, I'm going to give you options. You can move your towel underneath your hips. But if you struggle in this position here with your side kick, take your towel away and just lie flat on your mat. So with your elbow under your shoulder, I want you to think about your rib cage here. Don't allow it to collapse. So lift that rib cage away from the mat, shoulder down away from the ear. Let's engage the belt muscle and lift the top leg. Now, can we take that leg forwards and backwards without moving anything through our body? So breath out as the leg comes forward, breath in as it comes back. Now let's extend the top arm, and let's use this as a monitoring tool. So if that arm starts to wave around, that's a warning sign that your body is moving. So nice and still with the arm. That's it. Now if you're finding it too hard on the shoulder, take the towel away, lie down and do side kick how you normally would. Okay, just so I will show those that need to. In this position here. So that is the alternative if you're struggling up on your elbow. Lovely, we're going to try a couple more. And then we're going to push all the way up and into a seated position. Now, when you do spine stretch, when you do your spine stretch, I'm going to sit sideways just so you can see. If you're pitched back like so, okay, then you would definitely benefit from either sitting on a sofa cushion or rolling a little towel and placing it underneath the coccyx, which will then help you into position. All right, so it will just allow you to level your pelvis out. All right, lift through the crown of the head, nice and even on those sit bones. Remember, when we're engaging pelvic floor, we're drawing from those sit bones and from the front and the back. Both hands in front of you, breath in. Breath out, let's round and curve, and imagine we're just leaning over a big ball in front of us. Breath in, breath out, and reach. Good, so we do have options here. We can bend our knees if we find the stretch is too much. We can also cross our hands at our chest and push back. So whichever position you've taken, I actually want you just to try something for me. I want you to place your hand behind your back, so either hand. And now, as you're coming forwards, other hand on your chest, push into the lower hand at your back, okay? So push into that hand that's behind you. Because when we do spine stretch, it's about mobilizing the lower back, the lumbar spine. And often we round and curve from here, but we want to push. That's it. So it just helps you to feel that movement. If you want hands in front again for a couple more. And then we're going to take it into the spine twist. So when you do the spine twist, if you need to, you can pop your feet together. If you're flexible enough, keep those legs out. Take your hands into prayer position. Slide your shoulders down. Let's engage belt muscle this time. Breath in, and then breath out and turn to your right. Breath in, come back to the center. Breath out and turn to your left. Breath in, and breath out. Good, progressing this movement, we can do this either with the legs, or with the arms, or with both. So again, if you find you choose to follow a progression, but then you find yourself struggling, come back to the previous level. So you want a nice wide span here, big open space. Remember to lift soft palate of the mouth. So all the time, you've got a long spine. Lovely. Those two moves bring us nicely into the saw, where we reach opposite hand to foot. So we rotate and we reach. Good. We can do this one with our arms in Cossack position. So if we struggle with the arms out, make it a little bit easier and take the hands in front of you. Let's try two more to each side. And release. Good, well done. Okay, come on to your other side for me. So, if you worked with a towel last time for your side kick, let's do the same again on this side. Let's have a go. So we're going to place that towel underneath the hip. So we place ourselves on. We're onto our elbow. Now remember, we're lifting our ribs out of the mat. We don't want to collapse or relax the shoulder. This is what I call the relaxed picnic position. Okay, we want to push and lift. Let's lift the top leg. So engaging your belt muscle, your top leg will move forwards and backwards. Remember, we want everything still so we can monitor this with our top hand. Keeping that top hand as still as you can. Breath out, forwards, breath in and back. For those that struggle here, on your elbow, take the towel away and just stretch the bottom arm down and take the leg forwards and backwards. Good. So same goal, keeping the stability through the pelvis and spine. Rib cage nice and still. Lovely, finish the one you're on, and then we're going to lie down. Now again, you can work with or without the towel can sit underneath your rib cage. We're going to bend both knees up, and we're going to stretch the bottom arm along the mat if we're able to. Alright, I'm assuming nobody has any injuries, problems with their shoulders. Hand in front of you, and then we're opening out, but remember, we're keeping our upper body forward. If you do have problems with your shoulders and you're unable to stretch that arm along the mat, then remember your alternative is to put your towel under your head and allow your head to be supported with the arm in front of you. So there's always ways we can modify the movement. Good, so a really nice exercise to mobilise the spine, but to open out the front of the body. So how far back can you reach without forcing? Where will your body allow you to go? Good, let's draw a nice big circle. So lift, open, all the way back past the hip, the thigh, and then breathe in and reach again. Breathe out and circle. Breathe in, out and circle. Lovely, finish the one you're on. All right, we're going to turn onto our back. Now, we're going to start by opening out the thoracic spine. We can do this by placing the towel underneath the back of the shoulder blades. So think here, back of the shoulder blades. Again, if you're really stiff in your upper back and you're rounded, you may find this too uncomfortable. So just work without it and work on your mat. You're going to stretch your hands behind you. And you're going to lengthen and stretch as far away as you can. You can take your feet forwards in front of you. Now push your rib cage down and just feel this thoracic area opening out as you stretch. Try and make it an active stretch. So continue to reach for that wall behind you. Nice easy breath. And then bend your knees. Support your head with your right hand. Engage your belt muscle. Let's lift, and then we're going to lift all the way back. Draw a circle with the left arm. We lift again. Arm back. We draw a circle, and we lift again. So we're going to do 5, okay, with the left arm circling, and then we'll switch over, and we'll do 5 with the right arm circling. Remember, if you can't do this on the towel, you can just come onto your mat. Good, let's change over. So support your head with your left hand. Remember, be mindful of the head, don't pull on it. All right, you want to make sure that you're not closing the distance between your chin and your chest. So keep that fist distance apart. So we extend and open. We then draw the navel in and lift. Lovely, one more time. And then release. Let's slide the towel away or place it underneath the base of your spine. So just underneath the bottom, under the sacrum here. I want you to level your pelvis out. Relax your head down. So last movement today. Engage your belt muscle and just have your hands gently floating over the mat. So nice long neck and shoulders down away from the ears. With an active centre, float your right leg into tabletop. Place that foot on the floor and float your left leg. Now as you do this, there should be no movement, okay, through your centre. So your hips are still, they're not rocking and dropping away from you. Lovely, if you can manage here, let's lift the right leg and take it into the single leg stretch. So think about position as you're heading forwards. Again, monitor your hips, make sure they're not dropping away, so you're keeping that neutral curve. Progression, take the leg further and longer away. So just take it a little bit closer towards the floor as you stretch. Good, let's try one more. And then we're going to change legs. So we float the left foot, we extend. Again, monitor. Look out for the warning signs, so a doming of your tummy, a dropping away of the hips, the back arching. If you've got control, try taking the leg further forwards and down towards the floor. So a little bit more challenging, but remember to keep everything level. Good, now you can either continue here and do another 5 on each leg. Alternatively, float that leg down, come back to your right leg, float your right. Without any more activation, so mild engagement, float your left. How do we feel now? If you're starting to struggle, place one foot back down, come back to the previous level. If you can, work from here, get an exchange of your legs. Try 1 breath in for 2 exchanges, 1 breath out for 2 exchanges. Again, working with precision, so heading for that same point in front of you. Lovely, let's try a couple more on each leg. And then we're going to split the legs to come down. We're going to lift the bottom into the air and slide our towel away. Good, draw your knees into your chest. Very gently circle the knees round, massage the back into the floor. And gently circle the other way. Good, mobilise your hips, open and close, open and close. And then change direction. So nice easy breath now as we mobilise and we release. Alright, we're going to try a little stretch. So your towel will come in handy again, but this time you want to make it into more of a longer position. So nice and long, so that you can then use it to stretch with. So if you open it all the way out, and then you're going to place your towel under your right foot. You're going to lie back and extend that leg towards the ceiling. Relax the head down. Nice easy breath to stretch. Your left knee is bent, or you can lengthen it if you can maintain that neutral focus in your spine. Now when you feel the tightness easing off, take a breath in, and with the breath out, stretch a little bit further. Good, can you open that leg to the side? Keep your hips square, and now stretch your inner thigh. So it's important in Pilates to get a balance between strength work, mobility, and flexibility. Because if our body is tight, it will affect the way we move. Lovely, come back to centre, let's swap over. Left foot in, and right foot out. Nice easy breath. Draw that leg towards you. Right knee bent or lengthened. Head resting down, nice easy breath. And when that tightness eases off, just gently stretch a little bit further. Remember not to force it. Lovely, take the leg out to the sides. We stretch the inner thigh. Try and keep your hips square to the ceiling here. So when you're doing your work in Pilates, try and make comparisons between your right and left side, your front and your back. Are we even, or do we feel particularly tight anywhere? If we feel tight, we can stretch, and if we're weak, we can strengthen. Good. Taking your towel off, let's just take both hands over the head. We're going to have a few moments now to reflect on what we've done. So I want you to feel the benefits of what we've done, the extra space we've created, the length, the strength, the stability and balance. Good, bend your knees, open your hands. With your feet and knees together, gentle rotations side to side. Okay, take your knees to your right and look over to your left hand. Good, bring your knees through centre and change. Alright, we're going to come up into a seated position. So, if you can, hug a knee. If not, pop yourself onto one side. Let's just sit comfortably, take both hands in front, round the shoulders and release the scapula. Good, take your hands behind you and open your chest. So lift, nice easy breath. Good, chin to chest, head to the right, either holding here or just very gently pulling away. Back to centre. chin to chest, slowly to the other side, either holding or just very gently pulling over. Release, good, well done. Let's come up nice and slowly. We're going to finish off with our Pilates setup. So think about how we started today. Curl up nice and slowly through the spine, bring your head and shoulders last. Take your feet underneath your hip sockets, your pelvis and spine neutral. Remember the 4 diaphragms we talked about. Arch of the foot, pelvic floor, the actual diaphragm, soft palate of the mouth. Good, once they're all aligned, let's take a breath in and a breath out. One more time, breath in and hands together. Oh, well done. Thank you for joining me today. Hope to see you all again next week. Great class. Well